Greetings and salutations. My name is Michael Schwahn and welcome to the channel. We have some more reaction content for you. Today we are checking out, once again, Wanted Dead. And our relationship with this game, even though it isn't out yet, is strained. It is very strained. So this is 110 Industries that's making this game. A bunch of the people working on this game are former developers for the Ninja Gaiden franchise. And every time we've looked at this game, we're like, it's so blurry. That's one of the things that we've talked about in the past regarding this. I think this is actually our third time looking at Wanted Dead. And I think it's because part of me wants it to not look like shit, right? Part of me is like, man, former Ninja Gaiden devs, that's pretty sick. All right. Why does it look like ass? And you know, part of it is like sometimes dev builds and stuff are rough, right? Like and it's not always bad for a trailer to showcase problems within the game's like operation, right? Like if you see frames dropping in a trailer, that's not inherently a bad thing. If you see some blur in a trailer, that's not inherently a bad thing, because if the that's the word I wanted a moment ago. If you are seeing performance issues in the trailer, it doesn't mean there's going to be performance issues in the game, but what it does mean is they are giving you a more authentic look at the game. They're not using like a pre-rendered set of gameplay to make it look perfect 4K 60 FPS where you're like, yeah, that was great. And then you end up seeing the game, you're like, why does it not look like that trailer that we saw? Why does it run so bad? So it's not inherently a bad thing, but it's consistently looked bad. And so I'm concerned. We have two trailers now. We have the Summer of Gailing trailer, which is the exclusive story trailer, and the official release date trailer. I feel like I remember seeing a release date in one of the other ones, but it was also like, I feel like we watched the trailer like that date has since passed. So, let's see if this game looks any better. We can hope.
Today,
this is the story trailer, so we might not get a ton of gameplay in this.
So we ran a few tests. DNA, retina scan, fingers, nothing.
Okay, this already does look better in just the fact that characters don't look like they're covered in a blurry edge. Things actually have texture to them and defined edges.
Cops don't wear sneakers.
I do.
She doesn't know, does she?
Please keep looking good.
What happens when she learns the truth?
Mix it with both hands, unless you have only one.
That was weird.
Feel pain?
Do you?
Violent protests continue.
Mistakes are being made. Sometimes it's not up to us.
Latest battle droid. Police.
Sometimes they wake you up, you know? With memories of yesterday.
Go.
Okay. That already looked immensely better than anything we'd watched for this game up to this point. Because, like, we can probably pause. Like, even this shot that we just randomly grabbed, like, so you see, now obviously they're trying to simulate, like, hyper curly hair because, you know, the individual is black hair. But so you see how his hair has this really blurry edge because it's meant to try and simulate hyper curly hair. If you haven't seen the previous trailers of these, that super hyper blur along the top of his head, his armor would have looked that same way in those other trailers. It was the most blurry mess that you can possibly imagine. You see how blurry this dude is because he's in motion right now? Imagine just everything looking like that. Whereas we see our actual main character here who has like a defined edge to their body. It's amazing. It's insane. I wanted to, this was weird. Why was there This is such a better screenshot. So we had gotten a screenshot similar to this one right here when we were trying to just look through the game, and it was, you couldn't find a still that didn't look like crap garbage. So I feel like I do remember a release date that was much earlier than even what today is. And I have a feeling, like we've been seeing with a lot of games recently, like we'll take Forspoken as an example, they've been pushing out games for the sake of optimization. Because some games are like, yeah, we're done. And I'm guessing behind the scenes, everyone's like, why does it look like crap? Why does it play bad? And it's like, well, because we haven't optimized it yet. You need to optimize it. We don't have time to optimize it. You now have time to optimize it. So that already looks immensely better. We actually have another trailer that has the release date. This video for the Summer of Gaming 2022 said Q4 2022. So we'll that should be relatively soon, but we'll see. We'll see.
Detective. What a pleasant surprise.
Oh my god, it looks so much better. I'm so glad. I'm so glad.
Sign this form and take your pill.
Whatever government programs you've got there going, I'm cool with this.
I'm also really glad that more studios are figuring out how to make eyes look like eyeballs and not look like soulless, shadowless, like wells of unfeeling robots.
It's a ambush.
I can go all night if you want me to.
Oh, I'm getting content matched right now, aren't I? Fuck. It's too late.
Don't just stand there. Operate.
Very cute.
Oh, space runway.
Censored. Oh, there's dancing mini games.
Nice.
Okay. When is it? Valentine's Day. You're adorable. You know, is that what it was? It was a Valentine's Day trailer that we watched. And it had all these like pink aesthetics and stuff, and I feel like that had a date on it that was not Valentine's Day 2023. But regardless, I'll take it, especially because that means it's not in the next 4 months. Because holy crap, there's so many games coming out that I want to play, but that's not what we're talking about right now. Dead Eyes in video games takes a lot away from the realism they're hoping to create. Right, yeah, super. Because like, especially if like the skin texture looks really good, but the eyes are dead, it's just like, man, this is creepy. One of the most obvious examples, of course, is like, and we can slam on this game all day long, is Mass Effect Andromeda. But even since then, we've seen the problem that Mass Effect Andromeda had with its like dead-eyed characters exist in other games from other companies, like Star Wars Fallen Order, really great game, highly recommend it. Dead Eyes, which just really takes away a lot of the emotion from the characters. Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin, really good visual looking game, hilarious, doesn't take itself seriously, it knows it's a camp fest. It's a great game, I highly recommend playing it, but again, the eyes are dead. And so like, while it doesn't matter very much in Stranger of Paradise, because that game is not trying to make you feel anything at all besides cringe and laughter. But in games that you're trying to have serious moments in, such as Mass Effect Andromeda, as well as Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, those dead eyes really kill scenes, and it's super unfortunate. And so even seeing what I'm going to put this in that AA category, because this is definitely not a AAA release, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with AA games. I love AA games. I recently played 2 AA games, both in the Plague Tale Innocence and Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice. Those games kicked so much ass. Those games were fucking great. They were such solid 8 to 10 hour experiences. I fucking love both those games. Mostly just because like they're really high quality while in a nice compact presentation and case, and it works. It works really well. I like it a lot. And I'm feeling very similarly about this game. About like you're gonna notice where some corners got cut. You're gonna notice where the budget was a little bit tighter, but we got some really good quality. We got some good gameplay, and it's just not going to be a vast experience, right? But the general art direction and the quality of the textures and stuff in here, especially in the characters look really, really good. In a lot of these cutscenes, they got the eyes looking good. They like it looks nice. It looks nice. I'm so glad, because part of me wanted to like this game, especially because like I'm a sucker for strong badass women. I'm such a sucker for that. You present me a game where the main character is femme presenting and beats ass, and I'm just like, I will give you my money. So I think that's part of why I wanted to like this game. The Ninja Gaiden games are badass. They're really enjoyable, and it's like, oh, former Ninja Gaiden devs, hell yeah, I'm down for that too. The only thing that I have a question of now, this is still pretty cinematic in terms of the actual gameplay that we're seeing. One of the things is like, that's fine and well and all, but I want to see, you can literally make it 20 seconds of just straight ripped gameplay of somebody killing 3 dudes, right? Like, we see this cool cinematic shot where she's like dashing around and stabbing people and stuff, but that is nice for presentation, but it's completely different once you add in a HUD. Once you slap that user interface on there, where it's less of this cinematic presentation and more of a game, I just want to see it. I'm probably still sold on this, like basically without question, especially now that it doesn't look like a blurry garbage fire and just looks like it could be a pretty decent, short, enjoyable, gritty action game. Like I'm from, oh man, to, oh yeah, you know? So now I just want to see just a little bit more. You probably already got my money. The price is a question, genuinely, because that's always a question for any game, but especially when we're looking at a game that I put into that AA category. But I think I was more bothered with the fish eyes in Fallen Order than I was with the dead eyes. That didn't help either, but yeah. So, Wanted Dead. It looks like a game now. It looks like a game now. I'm glad, instead of looks like a mistake. Went from oh man to oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm glad. I'm excited. All right, and I'm glad that I'm excited, because I wanted to be excited before and didn't feel like I could be. So, yeah, that's Wanted Dead. What did you think? Have you been keeping your tabs on this game? If you haven't, I understand, because this is one of those games that ends up getting announced or gets a trailer at a lot of like the major events, right? Like, I think this release date trailer was from Gamescom. The first trailer that we watched was from the story trailer was from the Summer Games Fest, or the Summer of Gaming, and then it gets slotted into those major events, right? But it's never one of the ones that people talk about. It's never one of the big reveals. It's never one of the big showcases. I feel like it's one of the ones that just kind of gets slid underneath a lot of the time, which is really unfortunate, because I don't like, well, okay, it wasn't unfortunate before. I feel like if it still does, that will be unfortunate, because I feel like, especially with these last 2 trailers, this game now deserves to have eyes on it, whereas before it hurt your eyes to look at it. So what are your thoughts? Have you been keeping up on it? What are your thoughts looking at it now? Put them down in the comments below. If you want to keep up the conversation elsewhere, 2 great places to do so are Discord and Twitter. And speaking of Discord, we actually have a channel dedicated to these reactions where you can place links of your own that we can check out together live on stream, because we do stream 4 days a week, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday, and I would love to see you there. If you enjoyed this video, please leave it a like. If you want to catch future videos, please subscribe to the channel. And if you do go watch one of the other videos on the channel, or if I see you in the live stream, thank you and enjoy.